Why don't you do some housework once in a while? It's all thanks to my son that you can live in this gorgeous mansion. You should do something for your family too. I'm at work right now. I don't care if you're at work or not. Since you married my son, it's your duty to take care of the chores. Don't you feel grateful for my son supporting your wealthy life? No, I don't feel like he's supporting me at all. What an ungrateful, useless daughter-in-law you are. Using work as an excuse, you just go out and leave all the chores to someone else. Why don't you let Tony do the housework then? It's obvious that he has more time than I do. He used to do most of the chores, but after you guys moved in, he quit. That's because he's a man. Why would you have your husband do the housework? You must be kidding me. Do the chores yourself. Why do the women have to be the only ones doing chores? That's a very old-fashioned way of thinking. Since I'm the breadwinner here, it would be more efficient if someone with more time did the chores. Oh, that way of talking of yours. I really hate it. Excuse me? I hate everything about you. Now, get the hell out of here. We don't need a lazy wife who doesn't even do the chores. You're just an eyesore. You can say whatever you want, but I'm sure you'd stop making a fuss once you know what's going on in our house. Then tell me what's going on. You really want me to tell you? Just say it. I'm the one who's financially supporting this family, including you and your husband. In other words, it's all thanks to me that you guys can live there. Don't make me laugh. Stop fooling around and just come home ASAP tonight. If you're still not going to do any of the chores, I'll throw your stuff away. That's a bit too much, don't you think? It's rude to request things without listening to what others have to say. I'll talk to Tony about this, so at least discuss things with him if you're not going to believe my words. Can't you do something about your mother? I'm tired of her outbursts and delusional comments.
They're my parents. You should be careful with your words.
You should be telling them to be careful with their words. She said she hated everything about me. She even told me to get out of the house.
I can't do anything about that. It's not like I can control Mom's feelings, you know. I can't tell her to stop feeling the way she does.
I know you have no intention of saying anything to her anyway. But you know you'd be in trouble without me, right? Plus, I thought you knew well enough about my work that I'm too busy to do any housework. They're your parents, so you have to talk some sense into them.
That's such a pain in the ass. If you don't like them that much, why don't you just leave then?
Oh, are you sure?
I'm tired of listening to you and Mom arguing. Mom says she hates everything about you, and so do I.
Are you saying that for real? Have you forgotten everything I've done for you up to this point?
Now that I've got Dad and Mom with me, I can manage without you.
Have you lost your mind?
Just leave. Mom was right about you.
I see. I don't need a useless husband like you either.
What?
I didn't think you'd be this much of an idiot. Well, I knew you were nowhere near smart, but still. I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna change the name of the owner from us to only you, but that's okay, right?
Can't you change that to Dad's name? I'd prefer it not be me.
No, if not me, then you. That's my only option. If you agree to that, I'll prepare the paperwork. If you still want to change it to your father, you can do it yourself.
I don't want to do any paperwork. All right then. You can change it to my name.
Good for you that the annoying woman is leaving. I heard great news from my son. He told me he succeeded in kicking you out.
Yes, he said something unacceptable, so I decided to leave him.
Well, you're the one who's to blame.
Excuse me?
My son was too kind to you, and you depended on him too much. Just because Tony was kind and didn't say anything, it doesn't mean you can force others to do the chores for you. You were able to live comfortably in the house because I did all the chores for you.
You refuse to cook my meals and wash my laundry, so I've been doing my own chores.
Hold your tongue there. People don't like cocky women like you. But I guess we already hate you more than we ever can.
Say whatever you want about me. I don't care anymore. I shall leave as you wish.
Finally, I can say goodbye to the useless daughter-in-law.
Will you stop calling me useless daughter-in-law? I'm not useless.
What part of you is not useless?
Huh?
My son bought this mansion, but you are a lazy wife who lives here without showing any gratitude to him. I hate everything about you from the bottom of my heart. Just get the hell out of here ASAP.
Yes, ma'am.
Immediately.
Of course, of course. I can't bear to live with someone as ignorant and stupid as you either. I think it's time for me to move on.
I beg your pardon? How can you be so rude? You should apologize.
Apologize? No way. You're kidding, right? Don't you remember what you said to me? My words are nothing compared to your numerous rude remarks.
I am your husband's mother. I'm free to say whatever I want. But I can't allow you to be so cocky. If you are going to make fun of me and my son, then get the hell out.
I already told you I'm leaving, didn't I? You guys are finished once I leave, though.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You'll find out soon enough. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. Well, not that I feel thankful, but it's just me being polite at the end.
You're a nasty woman to the end. I never want to see your face again.
I was just thinking the same thing. Please, do not contact me ever again.
You're a stranger now. Of course I won't contact you.
I'm glad to hear that. Well then, goodbye. Remember to never contact me again. What is this? 300 calls? This is insane.
Just answer the phone. I don't have time for this farce.
You promised to never contact me again. But why are you leaving so many voicemails? Also, you're in no position to order me what to do.
I'm your mother-in-law. Of course I have the right to order you.
I can't hold back my laughter any longer. Can you please stop?
Why are you laughing at me? I'm serious here.
You're not my mother-in-law anymore. I divorced your son, so you're just a stranger now. It was hard for me to hold back any laughter when leaving the house, you know. I thought I could have a peaceful life from now on, but it's so annoying to have my ex-mother-in-law calling me 300 times. You were calling about the mortgage, weren't you?
So you know how much the mortgage is on this house?
Of course I know. I was the one paying the mortgage on that mansion all this time.
No kidding. You? How could you pay such a fortune every month? Both Tony and I were shocked when we saw the bill. There's no way we can pay this off.
The amount of the mortgage was definitely written on the forms we signed when changing the name of the owner.
What? I didn't see that. You're lying.
There is no point in lying. If you don't believe me, go check the documents now. I'm positive it's written in the paperwork. When we first bought the house, it was a joint mortgage, but I've been paying for all of it on behalf of my idiot ex-husband. And since I was leaving the house, I just switched it to his mortgage alone. But I should have had you guys pay for it when you decided to move in with us.
So, Tony didn't realize he wasn't paying for it?
No, he knew he wasn't paying it. I think he just forgot how much the mortgage was, since he hasn't been paying it for so long.
But who in the world can pay such an amount? There's no way we can pay for it.
Then why don't you just move out?
I beg your pardon?
It's none of my business. I changed the owner's name to Tony through the proper procedure. He can't run away from his own responsibility, so I guess he'll just have to pay it no matter what. Either way, talking to me won't solve your problems.
But it was your error not to disclose the amount to us. You should carry some of the burden.
I see. If you insist that much, why don't you get a lawyer?
What?
Well, I don't think any lawyer would take you seriously. It's obvious that I'm not at fault. It's just that you guys forgot to check the documents. If you still think I should pay too, why don't you sue me? I'm sure it would be a waste of time and effort, though.
Are you provoking me?
Provoke you? Why would I provoke you? We're strangers now, you know. You should work things out between you and your son. If you want to keep living in that mansion, that is.
Why did you have that kind of money? Why doesn't Tony have the same wealth? He also has a job, right?
You should have asked your own son about that. I have money because I run a company.
You run a company?
You never asked me about my work, so I never had the chance to tell you. But I took over my grandmother's company a few years ago. It's not a very big company, but it's enough to make a living.
You mean you're the company president?
Yes, that's right. But as soon as I became president, Tony lost interest in working. He quit his job and became a part-time worker.
Part-time worker?
So now, he only works 3 times a week. At first, Tony did most of the housework while I worked and earned money. We had things balanced, and I was okay with our roles. But it ended when Tony decided to have you guys move in with us without my permission. You were so hostile towards me, and I couldn't cope with it anymore.
Wait a minute, Nicole. I don't quite understand what you're saying now. I didn't know anything about this. I never would have imagined you were a company president. Why didn't you tell me until now?
As I mentioned earlier, I didn't say anything because you didn't ask me. Tony didn't say anything about my job either, right? If you were curious, you should have asked. Well, it's too late now.
That's why you guys could afford to live in this mansion.
Well, we bought it with a joint loan, and now it's Tony's loan alone. But I told you so, didn't I? That I'm the one who's financially supporting this family, including you and your husband. It was all thanks to me, but you didn't believe a word I said.
It's not easy to get people to believe you when you tell them something surprising like that out of the blue. Even now, I don't understand this situation completely.
Even if you don't understand it, it's the truth. I think it was stupid of Tony for not thinking things through before making the decision, but it's over now. I have nothing more to say.
You're not going to help us?
Help you guys? There's nothing more I can help you with. I'm a stranger. Good luck with paying your mortgage, or else move out.
Don't shun me so coldly. We've been a family until a month ago.
Yes, it's the darkest chapter of my life.
What?
I'm so glad I got to leave my wicked mother-in-law and my idiot husband. I hope you and your son will help each other from now on. I, a stranger, would like to disappear from your life. You must be happy too to kick me out of your life once and for all. Your life may become hell beyond your imagination, but you deserve it. In the end, Gloria explained to her husband and Tony about the mortgage, and the family agreed that they couldn't afford it. They decided to move out of the house. Gloria blamed Tony for not thinking things through before divorcing me, but then she was blamed by Tony that it was her who had kicked me out in the first place. She couldn't say anything back and could only apologize. It was a disaster for my ex-father-in-law who got dragged into this situation. But perhaps this is the cost of not speaking up all this time, knowing the family's problems. The family is trying to find a place to move into, but it looks like they will only be able to live in a shabby apartment